Hello, I am back with yet another Brawler concept. This time around we have Chase. And before I start this explanation, if you haven't checked out my other Brawler concepts, be sure to check them out. But without further ado, let's start this showcase of this concept. So, about his class, he is a Disruptor and his rarity is Mythic. I will explain later what is a Disruptor, but now let's focus on what is Chase. Now, Chase used to be a Racecar driver who was forced into early retirement due to an eye injury resulting from a gnarly crash. That's why he has an eye patch. Now, Chase is super competitive and a bit bitter and petty, but he's quite respectful and sportsmanship-like. Now, he still has his passion for racing, so even though he shouldn't be driving with his injury, and the fact that he is only a go-kart instructor at Star Park, Chase still hops in his ride and does a few laps around the racetrack. Now, what is a Disruptor? Disruptor is a class that I feel like should be added. Like the name implies, it's the opposite of a controller. While controllers intend on controlling the map and providing crowd control, Disruptors are high-mobile aggro brawlers that intend on applying pressure and distract the enemies from completing the objectives. Now, these brawlers would create chaos around the map, and a few brawlers that I feel like would fit this category would be, for example, Max, Chester, Stu, Melody, Sam, Chuck, and a few more. And Chase would also be a Disruptor in this case. Now let's focus on his max level stats. For health, he has 6,500 health. Range and width will be explained later on because it's a bit too complex to just say the stats right now. Movement speed is the fast speed. Projectile speed, same thing as range and width, will be explained later on. Reload is 1 second point 1. Supercharge will also be explained later on. Hypercharge takes about 2 supers and a half to get to his hypercharge, and for ammo, he has only 1 ammo bar. Now, main attack. His main attack is called Apple Juice. Yes, this is a way of making champagne PG. Now, basically he just pops the bottle and sends the foam and the cork at enemies. Now, the cork and foam work like two separate attacks. I will explain the cork one first. The cork works like a regular marksman attack. Therefore, it has a range of 9.5 and a width of 0.5. The damage is 1,940. The supercharge rate is 16.667, which would be around 6 hits to charge the super, and projectile speed is 4,000. Now for the foam aspect. This attack works like most of the controller attacks, so a piercing, cone-like shaped attack. The best example I can give is similar to Sandy's attack. Now the range would be 6.33, the width would be 55-degree angle, the damage would be lower, obviously, being 1,340, the supercharge rate would also be lower, being 10%, so 10 hits, and the projectile speed would be of 3,650. Now, for what makes him a Disruptor, his super. His super is called Red Flag. Chase hops onto his stock car and begins driving. When Chase is driving, he can run over enemies, giving damage of course, or crash into a wall, creating a 3x3 explosion while breaking the area affected, dealing damage, and exiting the super. But be careful, because Chase is also damaged in the explosion. Considering this super is quite similar to Bonnie's, Meg's, or Draco's that you enter a separate form, he will have different stats while on his super. For example, controls will be similar to a Brawler control, so you don't have to worry about being something similar to Nani's super. Hitbox is 2 times as large. Of course, you have a metal car charging at you, it's of course gonna have a larger hitbox. The max duration of the super is 5 seconds. The movement speed is 1220. This is basically the very fast speed plus 50% of that. Which basically means, yeah, Chase would be super fast while on his super. For damage reduction, Chase receives a 50% damage reduction. The damage Chase applies once he runs over an enemy is of 3000. The explosion damage on the other hand is 3250. Now, while Chase is in his super, he can still be stunned and slowed. So this could be a way to countering this very oppressive super. And lastly, if Chase crashes, he will receive damage. This being half of Chase's current health during the crash. So let's say he has 4000 health, Chase loses 2000 health. But if Chase only has 2000 health during the crash, he only loses 1000 health. Now for the gadgets. And let's start off with his first gadget, Fresh Tires. Chase spawns a stack of tires that will work like a 1x1 wall. Now, you can only have one of these gadgets in the map at a time, so if you use it again, that initial wall disappears and gets replaced. Now, there's a few ways you can use this: to block marksman's attacks and then use as cover, or place it in a specific area you then want to use your super to explode. His second gadget is called Eye for an Eye. For the next 5 seconds, Chase gains a 5% damage buff for every projectile that hits him. Now, this would sound broken, but that's why it has a maximum. It has a cap of 15%. That way, if he gets full clipped by a Colt, he doesn't get a massive damage buff, and instead only a 15 damage buff. Now for star powers, and his first one is called Crash Prevention. Chase can now exit the car, healing 500 health, and sending the car forwards until it collides with a wall and explodes. So basically, if you click the super, now once you're in the red flag or in Chase's car, you will exit the car and send the car in the last direction you were aiming for, flying into the wall, causing an explosion. This might be safer than how you would normally play Chase, but it could also be useful. Now his second star power is called Payback. After crashing, Chase gains a 25% damage buff for 5 seconds. Now this star power can be paired up with his second gadget. So I feel like you could have two different kits for Chase, the Fresh Tires and Crash Prevention kit, which is more of a strategic one, and then you have the massively aggro kit, which is Eye for an Eye and Payback. Now for the hypercharge, called Airborne. Once the car crashes, it goes airborne for 2 tiles and then explodes in another 3x3 area. So basically, once it crashes into a wall, instead of just exploding and disappearing, it explodes, flies by flipping over, travels 2 tiles, crashes, and explodes again. Now, during the hypercharge, considering the current stats Chase would have on the super, they are severely lower than other hypercharges. He gets a 50% speed buff, a 5% damage buff, and a 15% shield buff. Lastly, we have the skins, starting with Rookie Chase, the rare skin for him. As you can see, his car gets changed in all of the skins, and then we have Rogue Race Chase, a 79 gem skin, therefore a super rare skin, inspired by Tokyo Drift and, street racing. Here we have the Chase spins, and here's the current trios. Now, thanks for your time, and I will leave you to listen to Chase's passionate and marvelous voice lines. Chase is my name, velocity is my game. Charging Chase is chasing the championship. Chase for the spin, gotta race it to win. Let's go to the chase. Boogity boogity boogity, let's go racing, boys! Friendly warning, silver doesn't look good on me. Watch out, because I always race hard. Last placer is a rotten egg. Come on, hurry up, chop chop. Get a race bold, I'm aiming for gold. On your marks, get set, green flag. I am the leader. Whoop whoop. I'm the fast and the furious. Front running the front runners. I'm running laps around ya. I own this track. The fastest, most rapid, quick pace, speedy racer. Eat my smoke. Try not to draft from the back lines. I smell the checkered flag. Woo! Another apple juice popping incoming. You need the need for speed. Chasing chase, good luck. Toot-toot-doo-doo, chasey chasey, toot-toot-doo-doo, chasey chasey. Catch, ow! Where's the yellow flag when you need it? Caution, you're gonna get penalized. This ain't bumper cars. Oh, I'm getting that road rage at this rate. I love my teammates, I love my teammates. Got a front rub, got a back rub, I got every rub. Ugh, rookies these days. Oh yeah, you're getting spun out. Oi jerk, this ain't T-Bone alleyway. Is this the big one? Do not get me close to that guy once I'm on the pits. Sign up for a demolition derby. You have potential. Stick to bumper cars, kiddo. Nice ride. Ride it to Loser Town. Suck it up, Hot Rod. Such a shame. It was a nice ride. On the final lap, it's all in. Learn to wreck someone without wrecking yourself. I was born for this. You, when they are born in this. Credit where it's due. It was good training. Chase wins Star Park 500. Burnout time. Eck! The blind angle. Anyone wants a silver medal? I refuse to keep it. Good job, but watch your back next race. Ah, underestimated you, but that fuels my drive for driving. Proud of you, kiddo. Next time, I won't be going as easy on you. Get a helmet and look at the front. It's wrecked, dude. It doesn't matter. Junk, 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 junk. Did I mention it's junk? Got a wrecked bucket of junk. Crashed out, it's lights out. Every week, every day. Jeez, how much I hate my job. Rough day. Literally everyone crashed into me. And my day is over. Great. Ever seen Jason lift going up? Yes. Ever seen deadlift going up? No. Thank you. Chase fence. Don't switch drivers. Ah! Here, kitty, kitty, kitty. Time for some bump and run. Out of my way, rookie. Chase is chasing you. Out of my way or get spun. Pedal to the metal. Rev the motor up. I'm on the mark and set. Vroom, vroom. Make room. Pass on the grass. Star Park is all mine.